with us. Click that button too. All right, so yes, we are using a chair. And when we use a chair, sometimes if we're at the office, we don't always have the right height for a chair. What we're looking to do today, if possible, is to have our hips higher than our knees. So what I did, my chairs, it's pretty flat, at least it doesn't bottom out at the back, but I just built a little bit of height on my chair. So when I sit down, I just have a little bit of a drop in the knees. Again, if that being said, if you don't have the prop there, don't worry about it, but I wanted to go over a little bit of basic ergonomics of the office and how to sit properly so that we are open and not rounding forward in our workplace or even just in our daily lives. So we're in our chairs. If we were able to build it up a little bit so our hips are higher than our knees, fantastic. Let's go ahead and just check the alignment of the knees and the front of the hips. All right, so we want the knees in alignment with our hips, and we're looking to track our heels under our knees with the toes facing forward. So a lot of times, sometimes we sit with toes turned out, external rotation. So do take the time to turn your toes to face forward, okay? And then just move the flesh and fabric underneath you. So you're spreading the bottom, finding a connection. You should feel your sits bones. You can feel those two little bones underneath you. You want to feel a connection into your prop or your chair with that. And so we've set our lower legs up. What I'll have you do is just place your hands on your thighs. And I'm going to have you take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And on the exhale, I want you to push your feet down into the floor. So feet push down on the exhale. And then inhale, release the pressure. And exhale, push down. So do this a few more times on your own. And as you're doing it, notice the connection that the feet have all the way through the long bones of the legs into the pelvis. And notice if you can kind of feel it help lift you upright a little bit through the spine as well. Right? Kind of brings everything into it. Everything is connected together in the body. So we'll take one more opportunity to do this, pressing those feet down. Wonderful. All right. So we're going to move into the pelvis, right? You could kind of feel how that went into this area here. We're going to mobilize the pelvis a little bit. A lot of times in the office, we tend to end up in this rounded position because we're posteriorly tucking the pelvis. So we're going to sit in what we think is our upright position, and we're going to start to rock forward and back on the pelvis. So what I'll have you do is I'll have you draw your navel towards your spine and lift your tailbone up between your inner thighs, and you'll create that rounding sensation, but try not to get too much in the upper back. And then when you come forward, lift your tailbone up behind you and your chest will start to open up. All right, so continue this on your own. I'll turn to the side so you have another view. All right, I'm tucking the pelvis. Tailbone lifts, sacrum pushes out, and then the other way, my back arches. So mobilization of the pelvis. And you'll notice what responds is the spine. Right? What's above the pelvis is affected by what's happening in our pelvis. So let's go ahead and come to our upright position. So we wouldn't be in posterior pelvic tilt or anterior pelvic tilt. We want to have a nice positioning of the pelvis so that your spine starts to become long and we're not rounded and we're not extending. All right, and we're going to move into the shoulders here in the upper spine that's above the pelvis. So just make sure in your chair you have some space for your elbows to go behind you. So we'll start with the elbows. To our sides, our palms are going to face each other. All right, so if you had to move forward in your chair, make sure you adjust your legs to go with you. So we're going to go ahead and bring our elbows towards the back of our chair to our comfort level. And then we're going to slide the elbows forward ahead of the ribs and the shoulders. So we can draw back and draw forward. So as you're going through this movement, we can inhale back and exhale forward. Just notice how your shoulders are responding here. How does the shoulder feel in the front area as you draw back and forward? So this is neutral arms, the palms facing each other. We're going to come back to elbows to the side body, and we're going to turn those palms to face upward. And we're going to repeat this. We're going to inhale back and exhale forward. Inhale back and exhale forward. So again, as you continue this movement, start to have the awareness of how it feels in the front area of the shoulder. Generally, when the palms are facing upward, this area will feel like it's opening and spreading a little bit more. So when we start to take the arms in this movement here, we're finding a little bit more opening through the front pectoralis region. And we have this nice gliding motion with the arms. So let's do one more here. And then we'll go ahead and bring the elbows back to the side body and allow the hands to come down. I'm going to keep our hands, we're going to keep our hands upright to hold this area open that we just assisted to open with. And we're going to move into the cervical spine, the neck, and the placement of the head. So a lot of times when we're sitting in our desk, we end up like this with our heads forward. So we're going to counter that today. I'm going to stay to the side here so you have a view of it. We have our posture that we've created from the base up. We're not sure where our head is. So what I'm going to have you do is lift the back of your head so that the chin is not geared up. So if your chin is geared up towards the ceiling, we want to draw that chin down. And we do so by lifting up through the back of the neck and just drawing the chin back a little bit. And then I'm going to ask you to do the head movement where we take the chin forward and we pull it back. Take the chin forward and pull it back. So let's do this a few more times. When you pull it back, you may feel a really big stretch in the back of that neck if you tend to have chin forward throughout your day. So we want to have this mobility in our necks. So let's go ahead and place the head on top, right? So the shoulders are between, or the ears are between the shoulders. And we're going to properly maintain the head, and we're going to turn to one side. And then we'll come to center. And we'll turn to the other side. And center. So going back and forth on your own. And just observing how the neck feels as the head turns in its neutral position. We'll go one more each side. come to center. And the last one we're going to do, we're going to bow the chin toward the heart. And then we're going to bring the head to set back up on top in its neutral position. Okay, so let's bow the chin. Lift the heart towards the chin. And then float the head to set back up on top in its neutral position. Do this a couple more times. A lot of times we kind of forget about the placement of the head. We don't really focus much on it, but the more we start to do these stretches and movements around this area, the more awareness will come to us that will then trickle out into your everyday life. Let's go ahead and keep that head floating up on top. I'm going to have you close your eyes here. With the eyes closed, just observe the position and the setup that we've created. Starting from the base where the feet are, all the way up through the crown of the head. Again, the more we set ourselves up like this every day, the more we will carry it into each day going forward. We'll bring our hands together at heart center. We're going to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth together, where we'll push down through the feet. So I'll walk you through it. We're going to inhale through the nose. On the exhale, push your feet down and push your palms together. Notice how everything comes to the center. Inhale, releasing the pressure of the hands and the feet. Deep breath in. Deep breath out as you press the hands and press the feet down. Feeling the full body awareness. One more time, deep breath in. And out. Go ahead and open our eyes nice and slowly, allowing the light to come in gradually from the room. So we're going to kind of put all of this together. We'll go through it together and then we can kind of go on our own. So palms are together, gently pressing. We're going to take the arms out to a T position. The palms are going to face the floor. I'm going to turn the palms to face the ceiling. Notice how that moves from the shoulder. I'm going to send the arms up to a Y position. We're going to lower back down to a T position. Turn the palms forward. We're going to see how far we can take our arms behind us. As we take our arms behind us, lift your chest up, lift the head up a little bit like you're radiating. And then we're going to bring those arms forward, shoulder height, and we're going to round the back. Pelvis movement for rounding of the back, where we're bringing everything together. Come back up. Arrange the pelvis and then lift through the spine one vertebra at a time. Turn the palms to face the ceiling. Draw the elbows back. As we bring the arms forward, connect the outer pinkies together and bring the arms together. Elbows come up to shoulder head. Sorry, I know you lose me here with my face. And then bring your palms together and lower the arms back down into the hands at heart center position. Wonderful. So we'll repeat this several times. We'll go arms T, palms turn up. Feel that connection from the hands to the shoulders, shoulders to the hands. Sending our arms up to a Y position, keeping the neck long, lowering back to a T position. Turning the palms to face forward. Draw the arms back, radiate. So extension of the spine, try not to crush the back of the neck. So keep the back of the neck long, no wrinkles on the back of the neck. As you take the arms forward, we'll tuck the pelvis, rounding the back, let the head drop. And then we'll begin to untuck the pelvis, build the spine up one vertebra at a time until the head lands back up on top. Turn the palms to face the ceiling. Slide the elbows back. As you bring the arms forward, connect the outer pinky all the way down to the elbow. Elbows come up to shoulder height. Bring the palms together. Lower the palms down. Send those elbows wide back to hands apart position. Arms go to T position. Turn the palms up. Inhale up. Exhale back to T position. Turn the palms to face forward. Send the arms back. Radiate. Create some space here through that front body. Send those arms forward. Round the back. Drop the head. Build your spine back up. Head sets on top. Turn the palms to face the ceiling. Slide your elbows back. As you come forward, connect those outer pinkies all the way up to the elbows. Turn the palms to face each other. Drop the palms down. Send the elbows wide. We're going to do this 2 more times. T position. Turn those palms up. Wide position. You can look up here if you'd like. Come back to T. Beautiful. Palms face forward. Radiate. Come through to round and release the head. Stack the spine. Palms face up. Draw the elbows back. As we come forward, we connect those outer pinkies all the way down to the elbow, lifting the elbow to shoulder height. Palms together. Lower the palms down, separate those elbows. Beautiful job, you guys. Last time. Make this your best one yet. Palms down, palms up. Wide. Go ahead, look up if you'd like. Lower back down, T position. Palms forward. Radiate. Open the chest. Feel that stretch through the front cavity. Exhale. Feel the stretch through the back. Make sure you're moving through the pelvis. Stack the spine back up. Turn those palms to face forward. Send the elbows back. Coming through, connecting the outer pinky all the way to the elbow, and then lifting up. Closing the palms, coming back to hands at heart center. Close your eyes. I'm going to take a quiet moment to just observe how we currently feel after the movement. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And as you exhale through the mouth, push your feet down and push your palms. 2 more just like that. Deep breath in. And out. Again, as you do this, feel the connection of the body. Everything is connected. 1 more. Inhale. Feel a sense of strength on that exhale as everything comes to the midline of the body. The core engages. And we'll go ahead and open the eyes back up. Release the palms to the thighs. We're going to take what's called spinal waves. I was trained as spinal waves. A lot of people will reference it as cat-cow. I like to call it a wave because you start in the pelvis and you move through the head, which we've been going through that whole class here as we built each pose on top of the other. So cat-cow or spinal waves. Palms are facing up because we're opening through the chest. We want to radiate, right? So we're going to have our palms up. So we're going to go ahead and lift our tailbone up, draw our chest forward and look upward a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and pull the tailbone down, draw the navel towards the spine, turn the palms to face the thighs, elbows go wide and around and drop your head. Now I'm going to turn to the side yet again so you have another view. So here we go. We're going to come out. I'm going to start to lift up through the tailbone. Turn the palms, open the chest, keeping the back of the neck long. And I'm going to move from the pelvis, tucking the pelvis, navel to spine, swinging the arms, rounding the back. So you can go ahead and do this on your own. Moving through the spine to radiate again. This has a lot to do with just pelvic mobilization, as I was saying, how we position our pelvis throughout the day is going to affect what lives above it. We need to be able to make sure we maintain pelvic movement. We want to be able to move the pelvis and the shoulders. The last one here, they call this the pose of life, right? It gives the life to your spine. We want to be able to move the spine one vertebra at a time. We don't want it to be clunky. Come back to sit with the head on top. And just like a string of pearls, if you were to lay a string of pearls on the floor, you pick up the string of pearls, it would come up one pearl at a time. We want our spine to be able to do that same thing. All right, we're gonna go ahead and come back to neutral with our arms here. So elbows parallel to the ribs, palms face each other. We have our setup, right? We have the longest spine we can, ears between the shoulders. We're simply gonna lift the shoulders towards the ears here and lower back down. Let's inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. So you should be able to feel your shoulder blades on the back rib cage. Glide up the ribs and down the ribs. Let's go ahead and keep the shoulders down from there, and we'll turn those palms to face up, and we'll see if we notice a difference with the palms up. As we inhale, shoulders up, and exhale, shoulders down. Inhale, up, and exhale, down. Good. Yes. Last one. So we want to be able to move those shoulders on their own, right? We don't want to get locked shoulder, which can happen. So go ahead and bring your arms down. All right. So we're going to move into a little bit of a core element here. So make sure that you move at your own comfort level, and you shouldn't feel pain through any of this. So we'll start in the arms. We'll go ahead and bring our arms up to what I call goal post. Very familiar, right? Football season did just start. So elbows parallel to the shoulders. And we're going to actually take the elbows forward and back here. So try to remain soft through the neck. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift the elbows up and take them behind us, and then bring them ahead of us. Back and forth. I'll turn to the side again. Back, see, it goes behind the shoulders, and then it goes ahead of the shoulders. And it's not a ton, so you can make this movement for you, right? And maybe the shoulders or maybe the elbows don't go behind the shoulders. That's okay. Wherever the movement carries you is where you need to be right now. So as we move forward and back, maintain the position of the head, right? Sometimes when we start to move the limbs like this, we might find that our chin starts to lift. So making sure we're kind of drawing the back of the skull towards the ceiling so the chin drops, and we're not pressing the head forward. We're keeping the ears parallel to the shoulders. So this is going to be some toning in the arms. Spread your hands. Give your hands the opportunity here to open up. Our fingers, our hands are primarily in flexion most of their life, right? Even at rest, they're in flexion. So this gives you the nice opportunity to spread the fingers and open up the hand. Wonderful. So let's do two more. 2, 1. Yeah, so you should be able to feel that work there. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a little reprieve from that. Good. Roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. So you could make that, if you wanted to practice that at your office space, do whatever feels good for you. You don't want to burn yourself out from them. Go ahead and roll the shoulders the other way. Okay, we're going to move more into the center core. So we're going to need to move closer towards the edge of the chair, unless you're already there. Okay, take your feet with you. All right, so I'm going to turn my chair actually to the side. It'll be a better opportunity for you to see. So I'm at the edge of my chair. So we've been doing this scoop in our pelvis, right? So we're going to do this little scoop, a little bit of a pelvic tuck. We're going to lean back towards the chair. You're going to start to feel a little shaky. As you lean back, try not to go like this with the shoulders. So yes, you're rounding your pelvis, but we're trying to stay out of too much rounding of the upper back. And you can bring your arms up like you're holding a beach ball. You really have to pull the navel in and scoop the abs up. And you lean back enough that you start to feel kind of unstable and shaky. It's like an earthquake. We call it the earthquake. And then we'll come back up to sit tall. So if you needed more space to get further back, then you have to scoop further up on your chair, right? So let's go ahead and tuck the pelvis and then lean your back towards the chair. You're gonna feel your abs come in. Try not to really grip your hip flexors here. I'm gonna give you the opportunity to advance. If you wanna advance it, you can lift your left leg up. Not required. This is an optional progression. Make sure not to lose the scooping of the abs. We'll release the foot down and we'll hinge forward, restacking the spine, bring the palms down, palms face up, just a little intermission, right? And then we'll repeat. So we'll scoop, tuck the pelvis, scoop the abs up towards the ribs, start to hinge back till you feel that earthquake feeling. Holding your beach ball here, relaxing around the shoulders, chest is open. And then you can have the optional progression of lifting the right leg up. So no tension in the neck, no tension in the shoulders. It's all here in the core. And we'll release the foot down. And we'll come back up, turn the palms to face the ceiling, hands down. Okay, last one. You guys are doing awesome. Last one, optional progression, tuck the pelvis. Come back, arms up. So you could stay here. We have 3 different options. You could stay here. You could do one leg at a time and then do the other, or you're going to lift one leg and lift the other leg. So this is obviously super advanced, which you're welcome to do, or you're doing one leg, hold it for a breath or two. Do the other leg, hold it for a breath or two. And then if you have both feet up, bring one down, bring the other one down, and then we'll all come back up to sit on top. Yes, good. All right, we're going to come back, adjusting our seated position. So finding that nice seated pose that we had when we started the class, aligning the legs, adjusting the flesh. Go ahead and close your eyes here. Turn your palms to face the ceiling on your thighs. And just take a moment to check in with your posture. From toes to head. Make the longest, tallest U that you can in a seated position. We're going to bring our hands together one more time at heart center. We're going to do the 3 breaths again with the pressing. So we'll inhale through the nose. On the exhale, press the palms and the feet. Finding it in the center core. Inhale, deep breath in. One more time. Releasing the pressure. Beginning to blink the eyes back open. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Namaste. Should anybody have any questions at this time, I believe Marla will take back over. I can stay for for a moment, but pleasure having you all. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. You're welcome. Yeah. Thank you for coming. Yay. Namaste.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for attending.
Right. Hi, Carolyn. Namaste. Yes, you're welcome, Lori. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
I feel so warm in my shoulders and my back. That was really nice.
Feel good, right? It just opens everything up nicely.
It was a nice check-in too, like placing my palms up in my lap at the beginning, in the middle, and the end. Like it felt different every single time.
Yeah, because each time you're getting in there a little bit more, right?
Yeah. So the blood flow is like I'm hot here, I'm hot like all through my back. Really nice.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I hope everybody liked it. Yeah. All right. I'm off to Club Pilates. Are you good? I'm sorry. Are you good with that 5:30 class day or 5 o'clock class or whatever? I've been so
Let me stop the recording.